And so you should have some of your lines already loaded, and you just obviously click on the lines here to view your seismic data. If it's too big, you just have to adjust over here the scale bar. You can see it says set scales. You just want to play around here with the horizontal scale, so you can play around. Either you change this trace number, you just got to fiddle around to see the best setting, or you can change it here to use trace distance and play around with the distance measurements. You can also change the vertical scale here by changing centimeters per second. And so ultimately your goal will be to pick horizons, but your first thing that you need is borehole data so that you can understand which horizons are which. And so we're going to add a borehole here. And so how you do that is you go up to the top here to wells. So oil and gas, they call them wells, not boreholes. Click on wells and go down to the bottom here to add wells. And this window will come up. You see I've already got some boreholes in here, but let's add a new one here. So click on new wells. And so the well name, I'm going to load TU1-55, which is just to the west of Tromsburg. So, and it's in the Word document that I sent you. So T-150 is the name. I can just use the same name for the underneath here, the well name. Elevation, I've got from eTopo data. It should be 1380.62. Your elevation reference, so what is it measured relative to? I'm actually not certain about this first and third thing. You'll have to look it up. This is measured relative to ground level. And then you've got to put in the X and Y values. And you can set here to your location units. I'm going to do it in decimal degrees because that's what I have. So the latitude is minus 29.9003, and the longitude is 25.4996. You can fill in these other fields here. I'm not actually sure of the total depth of the borehole. We know that it gets down to 1,300 meters, so you can just, if you want, put 1,400. We're not sure how deep down it goes. Start depth. You've just got to be careful about start depth in terms of, is it measured relative to 0? Let's put 0 for now. In depth, I would assume, again, is this total depth. And try click apply, and we get UWI name cannot be blank. Please enter the valid number. I don't have any other number to suggest here, so I'm just going to put TU. Okay. And you can see here it's added it in the top on the left hand side here. And so if we click on it, or we actually now have to go and add formation tops, which if you go up here to this icon, the multicolored icon, you're going to click on the left hand one that says formation tops. And so it's telling you that you're the administrator. You can have different people working on this project. This is the name of the well, and we're going to put in the measured depth. So it's from the top of the borehole being 0 going down. You need to read up to about what TVD and subsea is. These are about being relative to sea level. So I'm going to add, I think we've got 4 horizons that we can add in here. And the depth of the top of the Eka is 89. Time I don't have at the moment. We can work out. I'm not sure if you need to cancel. I've already got all of these loaded in here from previous projects. If you want to create a new one, you might have to play around with this. So this is actually top of Eka, so I've already got that in here. And I think you can leave this blank on the end. And the next horizon here is top of Eka Shales, which do I have something for? Maybe not yet, otherwise I've got ES here for Eka Shales. So this is the horizon that should be strongly reflective. And the depth from the document I sent you is 1,444 meters, 0.9. Next one along is the top of the Dwaika. So I'll go down here, top of Dwaika, and you can add 1325.9. And then the last one here was basement. In my list, I call it GG because often it's granite greenstone, but we know ours is Ventersdorp lavas. So 1344.2. Give me a shout if you don't know how to create these abbreviations. I'm sure we can figure it out. And I click apply, and then I click OK. We're going to come back at a later stage and put in some time values here. And so I'm going to close this, and I want to see where this borehole is. So this is my base map with all the data, but you can see on the left hand side here under this work tree or project tree, it lists my lines, and then at the bottom it lists my wells. So I'm going to click on TU at the bottom here, double click on it here. I'm just trying to see where it is on the map. That's borehole WE. Okay, so it wasn't, I'm sure there's an easier way to find it, but you can see here it's up here, west of Lesotho. And I don't have any seismic data in this region, but it should be quite close to your seismic line. So if you double click on your seismic line, it should display the well data on it. I can show you an example of that. I've got some boreholes down here in the south, and if I zoom in, this star here is a borehole. If I double click on this seismic line here, you can see, if I scroll along, it actually shows me KA here, and it shows me the formation tops, so the layers in my project, in the borehole that correlate with different horizons. And so you can see here, this strong reflector here is actually the Eka shales, and this one here is the top of the basement. But you can really only do this once you put in a depth to time conversion curve, and that's because your y-axis here is time. And so what you would need to do is, I'll send you an equation to convert from your depths to times, and then what you're going to do is you'll go back here, double click on TU, and go to formation tops, and you make sure you select it on TU, and once you know what these time values are, you can actually put them in, click OK, and when you go back to your seismic section, it'll show those times. So yeah, for now, I think that's about all you can do.